Hello everybody, I'm Grimm from G3. I wanted to make a collection video because I wanted to show off my collection and show pretty much what games I can actually do in walkthroughs, and pretty much just let you know that I will be making walkthroughs and whatnot from the actual game. I will not be using a computer emulator unless I'm using the virtual console on the Wii U or something like that, but I will not be using a computer's emulator. So I wanted to really not only show off my games, but also show off my console and my controllers. And in this video I'll be showing just my N64 stuff. So to start, obviously I have the pretty much the original black console right here. Obviously there's a Skull Candy sticker I put on there a few years ago for some reason. But this ugly red thing right here is an expansion pack, which is actually a third party, I believe, expansion pack. I would have bought an original expansion pack for the N64, but they are a lot more expensive than this one, so I pretty much just bought this one. So now to talk about controllers. This is the one that I mostly use. It's a jungle green controller. As you can tell, this is a refurbished thumbstick I bought from Lukey Games on eBay. I think it's a pretty nice controller. As you can tell, it's kind of small, but I like it. I actually bought that on eBay a few years ago, I believe. Maybe it was just 1 year ago, but that's my favorite controller. This one I actually had since I was a kid. This was actually the thumbstick on that one over there, but since somebody's going to use that one, I decided to switch it. It's actually the old original N64 thumbstick, but for some reason the guy made sure it was really nice, so pretty cool. This is a Atomic Purple controller. I've had this since I was a kid, like I said. This was not my controller, of course, but pretty cool controller. This was mine as a kid, the classic gray controller. I put another refurbished N64 thumbstick on it. These are remotely about $8, $9, depending on who you buy it from. And I think they're well worth the money, in my opinion, especially if you're going to be playing the N64 a lot. So that's pretty much it with hardware. I'm going to go to games. I'm going to start on my boxed N64 games right now, and then I'm going to go to my just cartridge games. The first one's, of course, the walkthrough I'm doing so far. It's Banjo-Kazooie. Not really much to say about this. The box isn't really in good shape, but I'm not really caring about what the condition of the box is for right now, anyways. Banjo-Tooie. I'm not doing this after Banjo-Kazooie, but I do plan on doing it sometime. We have here Donkey Kong 64. This box is in pretty rough shape, but this was a game that made me want to buy an expansion pack. Had a lot of fun with that game when I was younger too. The collector's edition of Ocarina of Time. I bought this just recently and paid a decent amount of money for it. And the box was in pretty good shape too. Here is Majora's Mask collector's edition. The cartridge of this one's really awesome looking. It's actually like a 3D hologram on the cover instead of the normal paper title thing, whatever you want to call it. The game that should be in anybody's N64 collection is Mario Kart 64. I actually had tons of playtime with this when I was younger. And the second person that will be on this G3 account is Letfum, and he had this when he was younger, and we played the crap out of it. Another game we used to play a lot was Mario Party. Actually, this was my first N64 game, but I let my friend borrow it, and I never had it back. And I decided to buy it again, but this time with a box. Mario Tennis, pretty fun sports game. I don't have too many sports games for my N64, but I'll play that every once in a while. Quake 2, I had this game since I was a kid, and Leftfm will probably get a laugh out of this game. We used to kill each other with what we called the green gun, where you would shoot once and like the person would explode. Pretty awesome. The box is in kind of rough shape, as you could tell. It's pink instead of red from light damage, but I don't care too much. Rayman 2. This game is actually kind of hard. I'm like 55% into the game, and it's very difficult where I am right now. And another game that we used to play a lot when we were kids is Smash Bros. Probably my worst condition cartridge game. The cover looks like somebody crapped all over it and tried to clean it up with like a bleach or something. That's what it looks like. Super Mario 64. I will not be doing the walkthrough of this game. I'm leaving that to Leftfm because he had this game when he was a kid, and you probably remember where everything is too. This is my only player's choice game, but it was pretty cheap when I bought it, so I didn't really care. The biggest box I have is Star Fox 64, another game that I'm letting Leftfm do because he was awesome with it as a kid. Alright, so that's all my boxes. I'm going to go ahead and go to my cartridge games. Chameleon Twist 2. I actually not sure why I bought this game, because it's actually kind of bad, but Leftfm was going to be doing the walkthrough of this because he was about to beat it when we were younger, but he didn't really have a chance to beat it because I think I took it from him or something before he could finish it or something like that. This game cost me my left nut. Conker's Bad for a Day. Pretty fun game. Curses a lot too, which is pretty strange for an N64 game. Mario Golf, probably like my second sports game besides Mario Tennis, and if you count Mario Kart 64. I actually really suck at this game. I only have Luigi so far as a player, and you only start with like 4 people, and you don't even start with Mario, so it's kind of cheap. But I suck at it hardcore like. I've had this game since I was a kid. This is actually my cartridge when I was a kid. Awesome game that anybody should get, because the only Mario parties that I actually liked, well, I like them all, but the ones that really have a nostalgic feeling for me is these two right here. This is actually Leftfm's game, but I somehow got it when I moved up to Ohio. Pokemon Stadium. I probably won't be playing that. He actually has his saved data on it, and it's pretty funny because I kill everybody with Mewtwo. It's not very fair, but another game I had since I was a kid is Rampage 2 World Tour, I believe this is. Universal Tour, actually. Surprisingly enough, this game is really hard. If you try playing it single player, you'll probably die a lot. So, some like orange soda or something spit on it, I think a long time ago. As you can tell in the background, I have tons of cords and a Super Nintendo controller. I do recommend playing this with friends. I think that's when it's going to be fun, but if you're playing solo, this game's pretty kind of dull. Another game I had since I was a kid is Scooby-Doo Classic Creep Capers. Despite it being Scooby-Doo, it's actually kind of a hard game. I only managed to get to level 3, and there's only 4 levels, but pretty interesting game. It's actually, when I was a kid, I had no idea what I was doing, so I had to play it with my mom, and it's actually a lot harder for kids than you think. This is actually Leftfm's cartridge too, South Park. A lot of people hate the South Park N64 games. I actually have 2 of them, which I like both of them, but this is a first-person shooter, which personally I don't like first-person shooters for the N64 because I feel weird when I'm playing with him or something, but Bluffin will probably do the walkthrough of that if he does it. Probably my favorite South Park game is Chef's Love Shack. The music right before the game starts is probably the most memorable childhood type song I've ever really remembered. Pretty awesome for a group of friends that actually know a lot about South Park, because what this game is pretty much like a kind of like Jeopardy in a sense. You'll be pretty much answering South Park questions, and you get mini games where you can spank the monkey from the cartoon, the monkey with 4 butts. That was always a fun game. Space Invaders. This is obviously the remake of the Atari version, but very awesome game. I do recommend getting it. It's 2 players, I believe, and this is going to be when we finally get together, me and Left Film, which obviously won't be for a while because he lives in Florida and I live in Ohio, but we're going to be doing a co-op version of this, or co-op game of this, and we've never beaten it before, but we've gotten pretty far in it, so it's going to be pretty interesting for us to beat it. So, well, this is pretty much my collection. I've pretty much just started collecting about 2 years ago, I think, really actually trying getting games, but for the past year so far I've kind of simmered down getting games, but I will try to get some more soon. So this is my N64 collection. I think I'm doing my Super Nintendo collection next, and that's going to be pretty cool. So thanks for watching, and like and subscribe if you want, and I'll see you in part 6 of my Banjo-Kazooie walkthrough.